I am by no means an expert, but I have been brewing kombucha for about 3 months now, which means I've made like probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 batches by now. It's really easy. You can do it too. Just to settle my tummy. My poor tummy. So now that this has steeped for quite a while, and the tea is actually a lot cooler than it was earlier, take these out with clean hands. Make sure you wash your hands. Squeeze it out. If you do it when it's hot, it will actually burn your hands, so you probably want to avoid that. So I'm going to set this aside. Here is our tea. So I've got 4 bottles ready to bottle up the last batch of kombucha. Everything that you might need for this, I've got links in the comments below. For the following step, you will need something to hold the kombucha and your last batch of kombucha. And it's really handy to have this chalkboard label. We have these. It's just so that you can see your date that it was brewed. You want to wait around 10 days, give or take. After a week, you want to start tasting it to see if your batch is ready to be bottled. When you dump it in, you want to make sure that you leave at least a cup of starter tea for the next batch. Any sort of container with a spout would be best so that you can pour it into your bottles. You're supposed to stir the kombucha around after the brew so that the living bacteria is distributed evenly throughout the brew. That's a cool little tidbit for you guys. Your brew should not be sweet by the time you sample it and it's ready to be bottled. At least that's how I've been doing it. Sometimes I get impatient and I bottle it up anyway. Alright, so filled up 2 bottles. What I have in here is called a Scoby hotel. There's no Scoby in it currently, but this is kind of where I just place the Scoby while I am waiting for it to cool down usually, but at this point I'm kind of just, I need to mix the sugar into the batch. Alright, so here's a baby Scoby. This was produced during the last brew. Put that in there. Alright, here is the main Scoby. Oh, so it looks like there's 3 Scobies in here.
So you can see the sugar still trying to dissolve.
Oh my god, it's not enough tea. No, I'm pouring in the tea. It's not enough. How embarrassing. It's not enough tea. It's so tiny.
That's funny.
Fuck. So obviously I did not brew enough tea. This is another reason that you should do all this stuff in advance. What you would do in a perfect world is you would fill this up with water and then dump it in your pot, boil the water, and then you'd have probably about this much tea left. It's always better to have more than too little. This is too little. So I'm brewing more tea, and I will fill this up and then throw in the starter tea and then Mrs. Scoby. Well, see ya in a minute. While the new tea is steeping, what you can do is get some ginger and throw it into your newly bottled kombucha. I like the flavor of ginger. It gives it a nice, strong, fresh zing. A little bit of a zing and a zang. So that's what I do. I like to slice them up into little slivers. So every time you flavor your brew, it should be after the fermentation process. So you could put more flavors in here, like for example mango or strawberry. I've seen people do kiwi, blueberry, stuff like that. Okay, so I have made the next batch of tea. I'm gonna pour it in here. It's still hot, so I gotta wait for it to cool down. So filling it up about to here is perfect because you need some room again for the starter tea, and the Scoby needs some space to breathe. Alright, so it's been some time later, and now that this tea has cooled down, I am going to throw in the starter tea and the Scoby. Make sure your tea has cooled down all the way. Alright, cool. That should be enough. This is just leftover, and now I can just chug it. Very good. Okay, clean hands again. Get your Scoby from your Scoby hotel. Gently drop it in. Don't worry too much if it doesn't float immediately, because it will eventually. I'm putting all three back in here. So now that I've got the Scoby in there, as you can see, it's floating up in there. I am going to take 100% cotton. You can take an old cotton shirt like I have. I layer it twice because I like to make sure that nothing can get in. You can also use a coffee filter or some like a tea towel I've seen people use. So you take a good old-fashioned rubber band and just seal that bad boy off. And now you just put this somewhere dark and cool and dry. And make sure to check up on it every few days. Just take a peek in there, remove the cloth, make sure that there's not a bubble where your Scoby is, because that's happened in the past for me. And also make sure that there's no mold on your Scoby. Oh my god, my Scoby can get moldy! And the answer is yes, it can get moldy. So there are some telltale signs that you can see to check if your Scoby's moldy, and that is to see if it looks like dry patches, if it's black spots. Generally speaking, if it looks dry or if it looks fuzzy, it's probably mold. And then you'd have to discard your entire batch, including the Scoby, because you don't want to drink mold. That's just the thing. So get out there, enjoy your kombucha. It's really easy, and once you get a brew going, you just keep on going. Alright, well, thanks for watching, everybody, and if you have any questions, you can ask me or you can Google it. I'll have all my links down in the description, like I said. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.